Prabhupada ki jai. His Divine Grace, Śrīla Prabhupāda ki jai. Gaur Premanande. All glories to the assembled devotees. Hare Krishna. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Namo Vishnu. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shmati Bhakti Vedānta Swami Jamani. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharni Vishesha Srinivadi Shakti Vishnu. Hare Krishna.
Oh, glory.
Krishna. It's another cool evening here in the mountains of southern Chile. Could you turn that thing a little bit? Oh, it's gone out. No wonder. Yeah, we're kind of running out of gas and wood and everything because we're going to leave here tomorrow night. So this is the last Darshan of the current series, Bukan Ashram. It's been nice here. It's actually, I mean, the last few weeks have been kind of cold, and the house that we live in isn't really designed for winter. It's not well insulated. So it's been a bit uncomfortable, but you know, none of us are sick or anything, and so it hasn't been so terribly awful. Just a little uncomfortable and inconvenient. You know, but that's part of the life of a devotee, is that we accept things for Krishna's service that would be a little uncomfortable or inconvenient for somebody whose aim is to enjoy the material world. Could you turn the LCD so I can see? Thank you. So what we're doing here, or what we've done here, is actually, I think, very significant. You know, doesn't seem like a lot. There's not a lot of, you know, tangible progress. Well, I don't know about that either. There's been a lot of really great participation by the devotees on the website. You know, we got a whole new social network thing happening, restructured our approach to the university courses. Kanai Prabhu and Ananda Vardhana Prabhu have started helping out with counseling the students, the university students. We have a lot better idea about how we're going to establish our farm project in India. There's a couple of things that we're working on that I'm not ready to talk about yet because they're not finalized, but which are going to help support our project in India as well. Then there's the wonderful cooperation and amazing support for the Janmashtami festival. I mean, that's just coming together wonderfully, and I'm so happy to see that. You know, that's really, really wonderful. Send-off, kind of. And that's the feeling I have about this. It's like kind of like the wrapping up of something bigger than just this little group down here in Chile. You know, it has a feeling like of an ending of a big era, and that's the era of Śrīla Prabhupāda's preaching pastimes in the West. It feels like that is closing. It's kind of there was an opportunity, a window of opportunity that was open for like what, 40 years, huh? From 1966. Prabhupada arrived in the West in 65, but he didn't do much preaching until 1966. So we could really say the window opened in 66. And now we feel like it's sort of closing. And the window is the window of opportunity to become a pure devotee. You know, to attain complete self-realization in the West. It can be done. I'm the proof of it. So, during this time of Śrīla Prabhupāda's pastimes, one thing that was unique and very special was that for the first time in history, the Vedic literatures were available in the West in a contemporary Western language. That's the first time that ever happened. It's probably the first time it ever could have happened. That the demons were becoming so sure of their grasp on the consciousness of the people that they didn't bother to try to stop Śrīla Prabhupada from translating and publishing and delivering his books. And so those books were distributed very widely all over the place, millions of copies. There's probably a copy of one of Prabhupada's books distributed for every single American, probably every single Canadian too. Other countries got proportionately less coverage of the book distribution, but the U.S. was really saturated with books, and so in one way this is very fortunate. It's very fortunate because that means like everybody somehow or other got the chance to become a devotee. Everybody got an opportunity to learn from Śrīla Prabhupada and to practice devotional service according to his instructions. Oops. Well, I have to keep the drum on, I guess. The mic cord is tangled up. You want to mute it? Okay, now it won't sound like an earthquake. Okay. Okay. So that's the good side of it. And the bad side of it is that there was a lot of harassment, a lot of intimidation, a lot of opposition, a lot of interference, and ultimately the organization of Śrīla Prabhupada, ISKCON, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, was usurped by outside agencies and pretty much disabled from its mission to preach in the West. And of course how this happened is a long sad tale, and I won't bore you with that tonight. But what it does mean is that of all the missions that are based on Śrīla Prabhupada's teachings, ours is the only one that we know of to have a fully self-realized soul at the head of it. There may be others, but I don't know if they're preaching, or if they are preaching, they're keeping a very low profile. I don't see anybody having taken radical step of presenting the inner structure of consciousness. I don't see anybody having surpassed the stage of rules and regulations, Vaidhi Bhakti. You know, if there are devotees like that, they're very, very low profile. They haven't stepped out and taken a stand and made themselves accountable for spreading Śrīla Prabhupada's teachings or continuing the legacy or the lineage of the esoteric teaching. As far as we know, I mean, I would actually be very pleased to know that there were some devotees like this. You know, I'd be very happy to find out that there were other God brothers doing similar things at a high level of realization. Really, there'd be nobody happier than me to find that out. Because I didn't want to be a guru. I didn't want to take on this role of preaching. It doesn't suit me very well. I didn't have the desire, still don't have the desire, to be a big leader or to be, you know, in control of any number of people. And actually, I don't see myself as that way, that kind of a personality. I see myself as maybe the more experienced servant. We're all servants of Kṛṣṇa. And I just happen to have been doing it longer, and maybe I got a little bit farther along the path than most people who try it. So I'm in a position to advise and inspire and teach others. That doesn't